Alright, here's the Producto mill. This is as it sits after it was run yesterday. I'm just going to go through real quick and run through the initial process, starting on the machine and homing the axes. So I'm just do a quick walk around the machine just to see that everything's as it sits. This is actually at zero position on the home, or homed at zero. This is where the oil tank was, the coolant. We actually have the oil tank removed. The pump is still connected. Here's the pump, the connection. Here's the hydraulic unit, all the hydraulic connections here. It's a way lube. I'm going to walk back around, go to the control before I hit the main power. Here's the main control box here. That's where I'll be coming back to turn it on. It's the disk drive, which we don't really use. Spindle. There's the key lock that releases the spindle. The tool in the spindle. Clamp and unclamp. So it's manually up by the spindle itself. Walk around. Here's the main power unit. I'm going to hit the main power here. Actually, first I'm going to turn the air on so we don't get a way lube air. The main power, we just manually turn it on here instead of the outside. Alright, now we have the main power is turned on. We're going to turn the power on the machine. First step, turn the control on. It'll light up. The screen goes through some sort of process, I guess, before it gets on. Alright. Check the e-stop. Make sure the e-stop is off. Hit e-stop reset and your screen should go to the basic home screen. Okay, from here I'm going to zero all my axes. Yesterday I left the machine actually at the zero. But for sake of showing how to home this, I'm going to manually take my zeros off and just reset them, just to go through the step in the process. So I'm just going to manually put the machine into manual, select any axis you want to move first, doesn't really matter, select the speed that you would wish to move, and then use your dial to just move it off of its axis. It's actually moving really slow here. I'm going to speed it up. I actually moved it to the jog position, and you can use the jog buttons instead of the handle, the wheel. Okay, so we'll move that off as if we just ran the machine at the end of the day and we're ready to zero it. I'm going to do the same with the Z-axis. Minus brings the head down. I wanted to point out also that the Y-axis minus brings the Y-axis cable in towards the spindle, plus pulls it away. And then finally C, which is your rotary table, I'm going to move that off my axis. One thing to note here is that if you have your Y tape or the C axis set below 360, or say 0 plus, when you go to home the C axis, it's going to rotate a full 360. It still works the same, but it may just take a little bit longer. So what we like to do is we like to put the C axis 360 minus, give or take 10 whatever degrees on the table. That way it just rotates rate counterclockwise rate to 0. I'm sorry, clockwise to 0. Alright, so our machine is off the 0, off the home positions. Now just go through as if you know, we just started up the machine. Just get ready to 0 it. You have to 0 it every morning or set it to the home position before you go. So here's the process. Normally when you have the machine on, it's usually on keyboard. We're going to set the keyboard to manual. We want to hit down here on the jog select. We're going to put the control to home. Okay, and now we're just going to select whichever axis you would like to do first. We usually, for some reason, I don't know, do the Z axis first. So you have to highlight Z on your keyboard. And all you do right then is hit plus, and it'll raise the your Z axis or spindle to the home position. So hit plus, and the head is going to go up to its home position, which is all the way to the top. Okay. Z axis at 0. Always make sure this reads 0 before you move on to the next. Okay, we're going to select Y next. Press Y on your keyboard. The Y is different from the other two. Minus is actually the home position. The table is actually going to come in that direction for the home. So as opposed to the Z where you hit the plus button to go to home, we're going to hit minus. Alright, the limit switch is stuck. I'm going to take you around and show you that. For some reason the limit switch sticks on this. So I'm going to take you around to the limit switch for the Y axis. And all you have to do, the limit switch down here gets stuck periodically, and all you have to do is get a knife or something and just pull it out. For some reason it stays down and just tells the machine that it's limited out, but it's nowhere near the limit switch. As you can see, the limit switch is right there. Alright, so we can go back and just start back where we were. Nothing was lost at that. Just make sure we're in our process. We're in manual, Y-axis selected. We're in the home. Going to home this axis, and we're going to go hit minus. Press that, and it's going to actually come in to the machine here. Okay, just double check up here, make sure your Y is at 0, and then we'll move on to home RC. So we're going to do the same thing. Make sure we're manual, select our C axis, which is the rotary table. Make sure we're going to move it to the home position, and we can hit plus here on the jog, which will reference our table to 0. Once again, just double check, make sure we're at 0. And that's it. This is your main screen now. Everything's set to go. You can go anywhere in here to load your programs. That should be it. Usually at the end of the day, you really don't have to home this. As certain machines, you need to set to a reference point to 0. You can shut it off as it is, and that's why we have to home this position, home the machine up to its home positions. And then, you know, when you're ready to shut her down, normally just hit the E-stop, turns off all the hydraulics, and just hit the power off. And that shuts down the control. And then you can go back and turn off the main power. Just right here, just turn off the main power, and that's it.